We are humans. We sleep. When we sleep, we dream. Whether we remember it or not is beside the point, because it does happen. Don't be
All
one of
people dream.
Don't be one of those people that's like,
I don't dream, man.
I don't dream.
I don't dream. I'm just not a dreamer. I'm just not a dreamer.
I just don't do it.
You
I just
do
don't
dream.
it. You just don't remember it.
I was in college again.
Okay. So
And I was on campus, and it was an unfamiliar campus, and I was a little bit lost, and I knew I had to get from one side of the campus to the other side of the campus and get to class. I was in a cornfield. The best dream of my adult life. I started in a cornfield. And the reason it was the best dream of my adult life is because it's the only truly lasting, lucid dream that I've had as an adult. I have a Ferrari, small, brand new convertible. I'm returning from a school trip saying bye to Stephanie Dupree, my prom date from senior year. Remember her?
Oh yeah.
I was 100% sure that you had a pilot's license. That was a premise in the dream. And I remember actually at one point even realizing I was dreaming and still being like, but it is true that Link has a pilot's license. Like, that's how convinced I was. I begin walking across campus, and when I get to the other side of campus, I realize I have lost one of my gloves. I was wearing gloves.
It was cold.
I just had gloves. And I lost my pants. I lost my pants. I lost them. I wasn't thinking, oh, I don't have my pants. I was like, where are my pants? I'm in one of those areas of the cornfield where there's no corn. It's like wide enough for the tractor to kind of go through. And I'm walking towards a group of people. I don't know who this group of people is. I don't know what gives me the idea, but suddenly I realize, oh, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. This is a dream. I run from the car, only to realize that a long stream of what appears to be engine oil is spraying from the car towards me. As I move, I realize that it is following me, tracking me. Eventually, it runs out. Later,
It was squirting you.
so then, in the dream, you were like, let's go fly. And I was like, okay, we're gonna get into Link's plane that I've never been in for some reason, which is weird. But instead of getting into a plane, we hooked ourselves up to those powered parachutes thing that I've always wanted to go on, which is basically a parachute wing kind of thing.
A paraglider.
And then you've got a fan on your back.
Oh.
They look super cool. But
Super safe looking.
Yeah, but instead of a fan, it was boosters. It was rocket boosters.
Whoa.
So I get to my dorm room. I go into the dorm because I'm not gonna go to class in my underwear. Thinking straight in my dream. And then when I go into the dorm, I realize it is a ranch house.
One-story
ranch house. But it's like a super ranch. It's huge and it has all this amazing technology. But I'm just in a cornfield, and then when I realize I'm dreaming, I'm like, fly. Levitate, 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 and then I was like 100 feet in the air. Later, Link and I, you're in a lot of my dreams, are taking the car to the Ferrari dealership. Of course, that's what you do when your car starts shooting oil at you. They explained that it was the theft deterrent.
The Ferrari theft deterrent spills all the fuel, and then it shoots
Tracks
a
the criminal
stream
with-
of oil at the
Great idea!
thief.
We land, and
boosters in the
I
front.
have no problem landing, but then you come down and land, and you have a little trouble with one of your boosters.
Ooh.
One of the boosters won't cut off.
Ooh.
And then all of a sudden, it like goes full blast, and you go over the horizon.
What?
You've disconnected your paraglider now.
Oh no.
You go over the horizon.
It's just a jetpack now.
You go like over like a mountain horizon. You hit the ground, and a huge explosion comes up. Now listen, but out of the explosion, out of the explosion rises this incredible castle. It looks like that looks like something at an amusement park. Like It's a Small World after all.
I turned into a castle.
But every single thing is like a reference, like your face. And then I go over and I see that the sink is running water, very hot, steaming water. And I'm like, well, I gotta brush my teeth. So I start trying to brush my teeth, and it's gonna get a little slow here, but the details are amazing. I look at this hot steaming water, I'm trying to brush my teeth under it, and then I'm like, why is there hot steaming water coming intermittently out of this sink? And then I find a manual. If you load the washing machine 20% above capacity, there's a relief system, a relief valve system that will come out in the sink in this bedroom. And you can brush your teeth in it. The brushing the teeth was not in the manual. I didn't know. This is all new to me because it's a dream.
I am so jealous right now that
should
you
be.
got to experience this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe it'll be a regular thing.
was I in the dream?
Nope, you weren't there. Maybe that's why I had the freedom to fly.
I was I was kind of hoping that you would say, I was flying, I was reaching new heights, and I looked over, and Link, you were there.
And fly.
You can control the dream, man. Next time you go to that control space, control me into it. I want to fly in a dream.
Now, I also had a horrible dream. You wanna hear that?
Was I in that one?
No, you weren't. As Link and I go to the dealership bathroom, which is awesome, with blue tile and amazing urinals. I remember vividly how awesome this bathroom was. It was like super high ceilings, blue tile, it looked like something out of Mad Men, and had these crazy modern urinals.
Amazing urinals?
Yes.
You have to go to the Ferrari dealership. Amazing urinals.
So in the dream, as we're next to each other at urinals, I'm telling him, Link, how I'm not going to give him any details of what happened so I can tell him all about it in a GMM.
Ooh, right now.
Yeah.
This is freaking Inception.
We walk up to the castle, and then all of a sudden, a door opens, and out comes you with long black dreadlocks. And you're like, you come up, you walk up to me, and you start saying things like, I wish I could remember the things that you said, but it was things like, welcome, son. Like you were like using an accent, and it was like you had transformed into
I've transfigured.
Yeah, it was a transfiguration.
Yeah.
And you became a different person, like a Rasta man with wisdom who lived in a castle. And then
Created
I woke up.
by an explosion.
Yeah, and then I woke up. The shades come up automatically, like, I didn't control them. It's like, daytime, time to go. And I go outside. That's when I realized I'm at a summer camp. And you're there. You're a counselor. Now you're not my counselor. We're co-counselors. And you are in a large suit, like a Fruit of the Loom suit, that has your arms and your legs that come out of it, but you're like a big, I don't want to say you were a fruit or a fruity, but it was some sort of large costume where your head and your feet and your legs came out of it, and the kids were chasing you.
You don't know what the costume was?
I cannot remember what it was. You are being chased off of this pier.
By all the
dock,
kids?
by all the kids. But it's like you're playing around with them, and you run and you jump off the dock. But then I realized the dock has like a 60-foot drop at the end, and you jump off and you swim around and you come back to me and you're like, come on, let's do it. Like, I'm late. I find myself in the audience at Price is Right. I'm sitting there kind of dazed. I don't know what I was doing. I was just kind of dazed in my dream. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody say, if your display reads Junkyard Junction, come on down. Last call, if your display says Junkyard Junction, come on down. And I look, I'm like, crap, mine says Junkyard Junction.
I've been in a daze.
And I stand up, and they're like, come on down. And I go down, and I get down there, and then and it's not Drew Carey, it's Bob Barker. But I say, but I will never not have a Ferrari.
That's one thing I will tell you.
Some old men are listening in the bathroom. When I look up at them, I realize we are at a ranch.
Outdoor Ferrari restroom becomes a
Ferrari
ranch.
becomes go-karts,
Yeah.
urinals become ranch. We gotta go paragliding, and you gotta be wearing rocket boosters.
And I will do it fearlessly.
And you gotta die. I have on the same suit. I realize.
You look down?
I'm like, oh crap, I've got on a big fruit suit too, or whatever it was, Fruit of the Loom. And the kids start chasing me off the dock. And you're like, come on, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, you go right, I'll go left. Jump at the same time off this 60-foot dock. And we get up and it was like you didn't hear me at all. And you went straight and you like got in my way and I stop at the edge and you go flying off. And then I'm like, I wait for you to swim out of the way and then I jump. And as I'm jumping, I realize that there is a concrete ledge just under the surface of the water that you have not warned me about. That's like 10 feet out and you have to get a running start.
Should have known about it.
I died, Link. You killed me. You killed me in our dream. Next item up for bid is a Wii U. It's a deluxe Wii U, which is the black one, and it's a bundle that has Zelda, which there is no Zelda yet for the Wii U, Zelda and Super Mario Brothers. And I'm like, I am all over this. So then I look down at my keypad to like, because unlike the real Price is Right, where you just say $269.99, in my dream, and there are no cents in the Price is Right, it's all dollars. In my dream, there was cents, and I had a keypad to enter in my bid. So they were like, please enter in your bids. And I reached down, and I cannot figure out how to put $269.99. I'm trying to get $269.99 in there, and I can't do it. And Bob Barker comes over to me.
Like, hey.
And he's like, he holds that microphone, the long skinny one out to me. He's like, what's the problem? can you put $269.99 in there? And
You
he's
got-
like, yes. And
you
Bob
got
Barker
Bob to bill it
inputs
for you?
$269.99 into it. And I'm like, I know that I'm gonna win. And then he turns around to wait for the reveal of the price. And I wake up. This morning, I woke up waiting for a bid on Price is Right to know that I was gonna get to go up there and play a game. And I woke up mad.
So angry.
You know when you wake up from a dream and something awesome was about to happen? I was like, I know I'm gonna win this thing. I'm gonna go up on the Price is Right. I woke up and I was so mad. My teeth were like clenched when I woke up. I was like, oh gosh, I wanna win you. And then the old man says to the old man behind him, they've got a morning show on the internet. And then the old man says to the old man behind him, they got this morning show and he's gonna tell them all about it on it. Like it was a telephone chain of old men at a ranch.
Learning about our show. This is good. Some marketing happening.
One of the old men brings Link an instrument, and then, I didn't know what it was, and then me a fiddle. I tell him I can't play the fiddle. He picks it up and starts playing it without touching the strings, just pushing on it. I notice he's extremely skinny and wearing a robe. The instrument is no longer a fiddle, but it is a huge bag, and he's making these amazing cowboy movie sounds, whistling, hitting the bag, etc. Like a huge floating bag in this
Like
field.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly?
Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It's like a chorus of people going, oh, and then he'll be like, ah, and he makes a noise and it like echoes into the bag and comes out, and he's like, he hits it and woo, woo. It was phenomenal. It was this crazy cowboy song
On a
movie
bag. Movie bagpipe.
It was, and he was in a robe and he's like, making all these noises with his mouth and the way it was interacting on the inside of the bag. Phenomenal. He gets ready to start over, and just as he starts playing, another old man with a Walkman starts playing cheesy country rock really loudly. And
Like headphones are blaring?
And I'm like, dude, this is totally screwing it up. And at that moment, everybody's like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta leave. Link is on a horse. I say, I forgot my horse. We turn around and go back towards the ranch. I ask Link to remind me what my horse looks like. He says, white with black spots. At that moment, we spot him laying in a field, neck broken.
Oh, no.
And now we're in a living room of a family.
What?
The horse is in the corner, and the guy from Friday Night Lights in Fruitvale Station, Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
he's there, and we're looking for a gun, and he's looking for his sister's gun, who's standing there with her arms crossed. It's Rosie Perez. Not kidding. She can't find the gun. He finally says, screw it, and Michael B. Jordan pulls out a little short-nosed pistol, does it gangster style, and shoots at the horse, misses the horse, misses the kill shot.
No.
There's like a grandma character there, and she's like, you missed the kill shot, or something like that.
You missed the kill shot, boy.
And then I wake up. I'm just gonna talk about the dream I had because it's...
Right, we just gotta get to it.
It's been freaking me out. It's been freaking everyone that I've been telling out.
Okay.
Telling about out. Okay, now we've talked about dreams several times on Good Mythical Morning.
We have.
And you know, if you watch season 1, you know that I'm into dreaming, and I have tried to lucid dream, and I'm better. I'm more disciplined at times, but I'm kind of going through a phase where I haven't really been thinking about dreaming. I've just been distracted. I've been doing a lot of other things. I haven't been writing down my dreams when I wake up. I haven't been trying to remember them that much.
All that requires discipline.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of discipline if you didn't notice. So, the other night, I was in the bed that I usually share with my wife.
Okay.
As in pretty much every night that we're at home. Now, my wife, nor I, neither of us talk in our sleep. So, in 11 years of marriage, yes, I've been married for 11 years, I've never been awakened by my wife saying anything. We just don't talk in our sleep. Now, you guys, you and Christy on the other hand,
Yeah.
we know that there's a lot of talking in the sleep that happens. It was probably 2 a.m., middle of the night, and what I hear is, and then I wakes me up, and I look at her, and she's doing that I'm sleeping, but I'm trying to scream, so I'm kind of halfway there. Like a mouth half.
Did she look like that?
She's prettier than that. So then she kind of comes out of it, and she's awake. What's wrong? She was like, I was having a bad dream. I was like, duh, And at that moment.
What time was this, by the way?
2 a.m.
Okay.
Approximately. At that moment, I said to myself, that's weird. I was just having a nightmare. And she awoke me from my nightmare. We'll talk about that in the morning. Because it's 2 a.m. We can't have a coherent conversation now. Let's just go back to sleep and we'll talk about it in the morning. She said, I was like in a crib. She said, all I remember is I was like in some kind of like crib for adults. And
do those exist?
yeah. And then I look out of this crib and I see this woman coming towards me. And she was coming towards me, but it was more like she was like skipping frames, kind of jumping towards me. And at this moment, as she's telling me this, I'm beginning to like sweat a little bit. She says, this woman was getting closer and closer to me. And then I started screaming because I was like, she is going to hurt me. This woman is going to hurt me. I have got to scream. I said, what color was her hair? And I was thinking to myself, if she says blonde, I am going to freak out. She says, blonde.
What?
I said, let me tell you about my dream.
Okay.
My brother's brother-in-law, Micah, was in a suit and tie showing us, he's not even a realtor, but he was showing us office space in a big building.
Okay.
We go into this big office building, and all I know, for some reason, I have this knowledge. I'm like, guys, you know that floors 100 and 101 are haunted, so we don't need to go to those. Everything else is okay. They're like, okay. So we press like 14 or whatever we're trying to go to. And of course, typical horror movie-esque thing happens. Press the button, and 101 lights up, and suddenly the elevator just starts shooting for floor 101. And I'm like, everybody's like, kind of freaking out. The elevator doors open, and it's this huge, dark, dilapidated warehouse. Something that wouldn't be on the top floor of an office building. It was like a huge, like, tobacco warehouse or something, you know? We look out and there's nothing, and so then the doors just kind of start closing, and I'm gonna like kind of screw with you guys a little bit. So as the doors are closing, I yell out into the emptiness, hey! And they kind of look at you guys like, see, it's not haunted. But when I say, hey! The doors open back up. And about 30 feet away, there is a blonde woman in like a gown. And she begins walking towards the elevator, and she's increasing speed. And
She's skipping?
No, she's not skipping. She's just walking. And as she gets right up to the elevator doors, I am awakened by my wife screaming.
No.
Can you believe this? So first of all, I told my wife this, and she's like, we both kind of sat there for several minutes like, I'm freaked out about it right now, thinking about it again. And I've told several people.
Have you watched a horror movie with Jesse?
Okay, yeah, right, okay, because
starring a blonde woman who comes at you if you're either in a crib or on the 101st
right, because
floor.
it seems like the most logical explanation for this, using Occam's razor, right?
Is that you both watched this movie?
Is that there was some trigger, there was something that we both experienced that then we coincidentally experienced at the same time, and then in the night our sleep cycles are kind of aligned. We were entering into REM sleep at approximately the same time, yada yada yada. No trigger, nothing.
No.
She doesn't watch horror movies. By default, I end up not watching horror movies. There's no blonde woman. Now your wife is blonde. Just side note.
Yes, she is.
But I'm not frightened of her, and it wasn't your wife.
And she wasn't scolding children, but your wife was in a crib.
It was no woman.
It wasn't Christy.
I do not remember the face, but her hair was different. It was almost reddish blonde. It was blonde, but it was just kind of big and long, and she was in like a gown.
So it's not that. So it's either that, or it's some supernatural explanation, or it's some combination of the two. Whereas maybe there's a discovery somewhere in the future that you find that people who share the same bed long enough are linked electronically or something, or that the government is piping in
I've got
certain thoughts.
A cable going from head to
Let
head.
us know in the comments what you think. I'm too freaked out to guess. Just because you can dream it doesn't mean you can do it. I can dream I can grow an arm out of the side of my face, but it's not gonna happen, son.
Right. Because last night I dreamed that there was a baker that lived in my house. That's never happened. Like he had a room and everything. We had to check on him.
Like a chef,
He made daily bread.
He made daily bread.
Yeah, he did. I'm not making this up. I just remembered it when you said, you can dream anything you want.